Resonate Podcast Festival and Tink Media present Pitch Party, a party of 5 podcast pilots for you to hear before they become a thing. Producers can spend years shopping their shows around and trying to find support for their creative vision. Well, we're uploading the mixtape so you and the execs can discover the next great show at the same time. Find Pitch Party wherever you get your podcasts.
Special news report from the Dashboard Diaries trenches. Phan is real. Hi, everybody. I'm Lauren Shippen. You're listening to Dashboard Diaries, a special report. And with me today is...
Hi, I am Cher McAnelly. Very happy to be on the show today. Thanks, Lauren.
Is that your best NPR voice?
That is my best NPR. I'm trying to emulate Terry Gross here, but also like an ASMR Terry Gross a little bit is.
I mean, that's kind of what a lot of NPR hosts are like, I feel or like just like ASMR people.
I was just about to say, yeah, like I so agree. Was NPR the first ASMR? NPR?
There's something there.
There's a journey that we can go on there, I feel. But yes, anyway, hello. I'm Shae McMullin, person on the internet.
For those of you who may have stumbled upon this podcast and don't know what you're listening to, this is Dashboard Diaries, a podcast for you, the folks who are in this internet bunker with us. We talk about what's going on online, do fandom with a PH today, deep dives, and share the times when we've gone feral over a new ship. We have been on hiatus for a little while, but we did say that we would come back if something seismic happened. And share something seismic has happened.
Something absolutely fantastic, Lauren, has happened.
There are going to be so many puns today. But before we get to the seismic events, let's catch up. Share, what have you been up to over the last several months?
You know, not much. Just scrolling online on a new website. Well, not a new website, but a new one for me job-wise. I am currently working at Reddit.
That's very exciting.
Thank you very much. I am very excited to be there as someone who is chronically online and chronically apparently addicted to online community platforms. Really, really happy to be there and could not be more excited, Lauren, to be back for a special Dashboard Diaries episode to talk about the seismic event that has been shaking up fandoms all over the web. Very, very excited to talk Dan and Phil today. If you listeners didn't guess from the first 5 to 10 minutes of PH puns,
which are harder to really get across. It's spoken.
Yeah.
Overwritten. Yeah.
If anything sounds like it starts with an F today, just imagine that's a PH. I'm just going to go ahead and assume. Yeah, we're here for the fun.
Yes, perfect. Well, and I mean, should we give a quick little primer for what the fandom is? Let's just jump right into this huge thing, and then we can get to the other stuff. Should we give a little primer for any fans out there that might not be aware of the fandom of this specific fandom? We did an episode on it a while back, but like give us the quick rundown of exactly what PHAN means, perhaps what it's a combination of.
So PHAN is a ship name, and if you don't know what ships are, we also did an
How did you find this podcast?
Yeah, how did you get here? Are you okay? We can help you.
I think you were lost. We can give you directions back to Facebook.
The PH Phan is a ship name for Dan and Phil, who are 2 YouTubers who have really, I feel like they are core to early online culture. Core to early Tumblr fandoms and culture, obviously core to early YouTube and just, internet communities at large. And there was always a lot of speculation about whether Dan and Phil were just best friends or if they were a little something more. And huge news for the fan shippers because they hard launched and they are... Phan is real, folks.
Phan is real. Well, and not only is Phan real, and I mean, this is really what gets me, is that it's been real the whole time. So So yeah, I kind of torpedoed our usual intro, but doing my newsreel bit. But you were going to say that you were a failed YouTuber, Cher. I don't know that I like actually know that story. Can you what years are we talking here? Because I think we need to contextualize first, like the particular Dan and Phil era of YouTube.
I attempted, and by failed YouTuber, I mean I made a single video. I wanted to be a vlogger, and
then you were like, I made the perfect YouTube video. I'm done.
And where is my fandom? I'll just sit back and wait. I will send it to you, and we may post it. It is deeply, deeply embarrassing, which is why I tell everyone about it all the time. I made one video in 2010, and it was a vlog about applying to college, where I asked people, I said, is anyone else applying to college? If
That's
you
right.
are,
I do remember this now, actually. Yeah.
I also spent a good amount of time in the video talking about my passion for the film Get Him to the Greek, which I was about to see for the third time at the time of recording, which... What a cursed cast.
God, yeah, it's like Russell Brand and like a bunch of other canceled people.
Yep. So, that video did not age well in a variety of ways. But yeah, attempted that one YouTube video and decided to leave it, to the experts. Like Dan and Phil. But Lauren, I would also love to know about your YouTuber journey, which we have talked a little bit about in past episodes, but I feel also is just so relevant to the era of internet that we're talking about here with Dan and Phil.
Yeah, so this podcast, in fact, sort of grew out of the old YouTube channel that I had, which you can no longer find on YouTube. But if you are an Atypical, if you support Atypical Artists, you do get to see a video from the archives every month. I've been like uploading them to a private feed and sharing them with folks. And it was called According to Tumblr. I basically tried to explain fandoms based off of Tumblr tags. The Supernatural video, the very first video I made, is public on the internet. I can make sure to reblog it again. Because it is still quite funny to me, especially now that I've gone on the journey with Supernatural that I've gone on. And I just like fully mispronounced Castiel's name, and like that's like the one person from Supernatural that I actually like personally know.
Has Misha seen this video?
I don't think so. I've never told him about it, and I'm like, I don't know how to start the conversation. I think he would find it funny. Like, I think he would be deeply amused by it.
I'm pretty sure
it's just, like, never come up.
He dressed as Castiel for Halloween this year.
That sounds right.
Yeah. So I think it would resonate if and when there's an opportunity. But anyway, yeah.
But I did an episode on Phan, and I sort of remember being like I don't really know who these two guys are. Well, and I want to say, so I made a post when this news broke a couple of weeks ago. That has now gotten like 3,600 notes. And I just want to read the post, and then I want to talk about some of the tags on it. I wrote, if I had ever been into Phan, I would be becoming the most insufferable person right now. No one would ever be able to tell me I'm wrong about anything ever again. What does it feel like to win like this? I feel like I had the opportunity to invest in Apple stock in 1977 and I didn't do it. Congrats to everyone. You've all been living on a plane of existence the rest of us can only dream of. I stand by that. And also, there were like one of two reactions for people who recognized my name in the tags, which was either like they reblogged it and then realized who it was and they were like, Lauren Shippen? Or people being like, I cannot believe that you were not into Phan, because I seem like the target audience for that. Like I seem like I should be a huge fan, but it passed me by completely. Were you aware of these two when they were at their heyday?
Not in the slightest.
Incredible.
How did I miss that? I was a huge Tyler Oakley fan.
Okay, yeah, same sphere.
And also this other like group of YouTubers who I don't think ever fully got off the ground in terms of like exiting like the YouTube or like entering the YouTube stratosphere of all these big names, but it was called this group of 5 friends called 5 Awesome Gays.
Incredible.
And each of them had they had a group channel and each had their own channel, all very different personalities, and would just kind of like vlog. And they lived in Nova Scotia, which I'm about to admit something that is so even embarrassing for some. I thought Nova Scotia was in Europe. I mean,
it does sound vaguely European.
But I was like, where is this place? I want to visit. Yeah, and I was like, oh, they're in Canada. Got it.
Yep. It's just Canada. Okay.
5 great. Yeah, and anyway, highly recommend. I haven't checked out their videos in ages. I hope they're still They're still crushing it.
I love that.
I was them,
but not Dan and Phil.
Not Dan and Phil. And I'm like, how did I miss? I feel like so many of the like vloggers that I was watching were very much, you know, within kind of like the Dan and Phil like space. I watched another person who like did daily dramatic readings of Twilight.
Incredible.
Which, you know, a whole
and
other
very on brand for you.
Very on brand for me. But I truly do not understand how I missed Dan and Phil in this early YouTuber obsession. What YouTube videos were you like into YouTube?
So
in, like,
this is the thing.
2209 kind of.
I've never been a YouTube person. Like I watch a little bit of YouTube now, but like I would not say that like YouTube is a huge part of my media diet, which is which makes me an extreme outlier in today's society.
I mean, a key part of the internet food pyramid.
I mean, truly. I mean, YouTube is the most watched platform on the internet. It just is. It's bigger than every streamer. It's bigger than Netflix. It's bigger than Disney Plus. It's bigger than everything else. But like, I never really got into it in a big way. Like I was on YouTube to watch television promos, movie trailers, and fan videos. Like that's what I was doing on YouTube. And so like the whole vlogging sphere kind of passed me by, but I was aware of a lot of these people through Tumblr. And so I was aware that like Dan and Phil, like even before I sort of did my According to Tumblr video, I was aware that Dan and Phil were two skinny British boys with swoopy hair, which is like pretty much all you needed to be famous on Tumblr in like 2012. Was just like that.
What a time on the internet.
What a time on the internet. Who were vloggers, who became best friends through vlogging and moved in together. And of course, because it was the internet and because it's Tumblr, everybody was shipping them. But neither of them at the time were out as gay. And they since have both come out as gay separately in the last 10, 15 years, which has just only fueled the fire of the rumor mill. But then, did you watch the whole video of them coming out and sort of hard launching their relationship?
I did not, which I know
excellent.
for my online. This works perfectly with our podcasting vibe. I've seen, you know, snippets. I've seen the posts. I've seen the reactions, but I haven't seen the full 42-ish minute video. Yeah. Which, by the way, I saw multiple posts on Reddit about how it was their 420th video.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
So tell me what are the highlights? What are the key, of course, you know, beyond the obvious moments in their video, in this, you know, making it official
Yeah.
video?
So I you know, it's been now like 2 weeks or something since I watched it, but like, so I think I want to say maybe like a year or two ago, like when we did our fan episode, I think that they're like, we were a little bit confused about whether or not they had actually confirmed that they were in a relationship.
Yeah.
Because they've been living together for 15 years. And like, they definitely like have said things in the last couple of years where it's sort of like, okay, you're not denying it anymore, but like, is this a full admittance? And so like them kind of coming out and being like, we are in a relationship did not surprise me. The thing that did surprise me is that they have been in a relationship since 2009. Like that's wild.
Elite secret keeping. Oh my gosh.
Truly. And like also just like completely insane to like meet someone when you're 17, 18 on YouTube and like still be with them in your 30s. Like I think I believe in soulmates now. Like they really found each other. Like I don't really know anything about these guys, but I'm so happy for them.
They're absolutely so truly like I have chills right now when you said. I was like that is like, it is so wholesome. It is what all of the, you know, romantasy shipping like AO3, like this is the AO3 fever dream. Like,
yes,
come to life. I am truly so happy for them that they found each other and found this like true love, and like you find your best friend, your true love, and your like career and passion like all in this kind of like internet era. They truly are like the, I don't know, internet royalty of like the 2010s and beyond. I feel like of the YouTube kingdom, they are
totally.
They are our kings.
I would even go farther and say that like I think a lot of people feel this way. The period between 2014 and 2016 is when we went down the wrong path, right? Like 2014 was kind of the last year that the internet was like kind of like mostly very good. And then by 2016, most places were very bad. And it feels like Dan and Phil like are popping in from some pocket universe where like the internet just put out nice things. But all of that said, one of the things I really appreciate about the video is that like, yeah, they sort of were like, we're in a relationship. That is true. But the video was mostly about like the experience of being in a relationship while everybody was speculating about both their sexuality and their relationship. And it was a really great kind of like, it didn't feel like scoldy or like an indictment of their own fandom or anything, but just sort of like, this really fucked us up in a number of ways and was really, really hard. And this is like, was really bad for our mental health. And it took a lot of work that we were like, you know, doing off screen. And like, they sort of talk about how like Dan in particular had like a harder time coming out because of his own stuff. And like, it was just a really like, I don't think that we are going to get another glimpse of, like I was trying to explain Dan and Phil to my partner who had no context for any of this because he's not online in the same way that I am.
Perfect couple pairing, chronically online and chronically offline or offline, like on separate websites.
Yeah, we're on separate websites. The
Venn diagram like, does not
overlap. Like I've been on Tumblr for 15 years. He like actually watches YouTube. I mostly like cooking channels and things like that. But like he's on a slightly different internet from me, which is great. But I was like, they're a fascinating, like genuine, like studyable use case of something that just simply will never happen again, which is two people who started broadcasting their lives at a time when like nobody knew what that was like, right? Like when they started YouTubing, it wasn't like becoming a Twitch streamer now where it's like you kind of like where there is a whole generation of people in front of you that have streamed their whole lives or whatever. And they also have come out on the other side of it, like, as far as I can tell, relatively stable and happy and, like, still in a relationship. And it's like, I just don't, like, I think that they're, like, incredibly unique in the experience that they had on the internet because we will just simply never have that again because no kids that meet online or start to stream their whole lives when they're 18 or whatever will ever do that in a world that doesn't know what the ramifications of that are. And so they were, like, these, like, unwitting guinea pigs to like a thing that now if you become a YouTuber, become a Twitch streamer, like you are sacrificing your personal life in some way and you have to deal with the speculation that people have about your life. But we didn't know that that's how that was going to go in, 2009 or whatever. So I think the video is really worth watching from that perspective because they seemed like very like even-keeled and clear-eyed about it. And it was just really fascinating to hear that from two people who have experienced something that, like, I think very, very few, if any, other people have experienced.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think your, comparison or, like, your analogy about them coming through from, like, a pocket or being in this pocket universe is where, the internet kind of stayed good and positive and fun and light is so accurate because it really is truly impressive that throughout all of, a lot of like the negativity that comes with shipping, especially real life shipping, because, a lot of the time people who are, involved in or shipped in some capacity have kind of that like layer of separation where they're shipping them because they were on a TV show or in a movie together or, something along those lines, even though or in a band together even. Yeah. There's something very different about entering the kind of social consciousness as vloggers, as people who share their lives. So you're entirely you in this space and people have all these opinions about who you are. They're writing fic about you, whatever it is. And being able to kind of keep true to yourself and your relationship and maintain it while also being completely like being able to maintain that privacy and your like the sanctity of like your relationship and like stay together through all of the ups and downs that come from like as the like how the internet changed, which it changed very, very rapidly from like I'm having fun online and like posting things to the kind of larger than life. It's like almost like we live our lives almost online more than offline at times, like universe that we're in now.
Well, and I also think that they really got caught up in like, I mean, we may have touched upon this a little bit in our original episode about them, but they got caught up very much in the like early teens fervor of like I think like genuinely like well-meaning young people who like were seeking something that is very natural to seek, doing so in a very toxic way, which is basically being like, you should come out because like that would be good representation for me, a person who loves you and is also figuring out their own queerness. And it's like, and it's unfair to your fans in some way if you aren't owning up to sort of the truth of this thing. Like, I think there was a lot of that really like toxic. I mean, like in general, all RPF eventually, if it gets big enough, will lead to like some crazy conspiracy and to some toxicity. It's not that inherently, right? But it certainly can. And I think, by their own admission, it sounds like Dan and Phil experienced that. And like, that's such a hard thing to sort of have people throw at you of like it would be so meaningful if you did when you're trying to figure out your own sexuality yourself and your own relationship yourself when you're like 22 and you're bad at being in a relationship because every 22-year-old is bad at being in a relationship. And so it's like a miracle to me that they're still together.
And you have the weight of people's journeys on your shoulders somehow, in addition to like the weight of your own. Like I can't even. There's a lot of like strength and all. Like I don't even want to say like of course they were very, like strong to have been able to go through this, but I almost don't want to like put the need to be strong on them to have gone through this, because you should be able to be like a dumb 22-year-old who's making mistakes and, like exploring and living your life without like tens of millions, hundreds of millions of eyes on you and the weight of their expectations and kind of the, if they like that, as you said, people thinking, oh, well, if they, come out or if they say that they're a couple, then like I myself as a viewer will feel better or feel okay or feel like justified or empowered or whatever it is, when that should not be put on anyone, regardless of if their lives are online or offline.
Yeah, like it's great when those things happen, right? Like I remember when Janelle Monáe first like kind of came out as like queer in some way. I know that they've gone on a journey in that regard. But like as somebody who like saw the music video for Tightrope when I was 17 and was like, what am I feeling? What's happening? And then just like followed every step of her career so obsessively. Like that felt really good, right? To have Janelle Monáe like come out and be like, I am like you in some way, because that was something I had always felt in their music. But like I never would have expected that from them. And I think like crucially too, and this I think speaks so well to your point, like I was able to find that point of connection with Janelle Monáe's music and like with what they talked about in regards to their music, and sort of like all of the Android stuff I found very interesting, because it was like a kind of a way to talk about like the fluidity of sexuality and gender without actually talking about it. But when your art is you being you online and living your life, it's like I think it's much easier for your fans to sort of fall into like, well, but you owe this to me. And because that's like, that's what you're saying in your art and you're just not saying it,
Yeah, 100%. And it, in we've talked a lot about in past episodes and just in general, like in pop culture, like how, harmful queer baiting can be in television and film. But this is people writing about fictional characters. They can decide, what they're alluding to, or if these characters come out, or if Destiel is canon, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whereas in this situation, it's like, no, there's no baiting happening. This is two people's real lives, living their real lives and making decisions based on what is best for them.
Yes.
And like, no one should be pushing them to do anything that they don't want to do.
Yeah, real people,
or they're not ready to
bait.
do, or whatever it is. Yeah, exactly.
They just can't.
Yeah, that's not how life works.
No, because it's like if in some like imaginary scenario in which somebody was like using the queer community to like market their, I mean, like like Taylor Swift has been accused of queer baiting and stuff, of sort of using the queer community to market her music, and I do think that she's used the queer community to market her music, but I like. Not in a way that she is implying that she is queer, and it's like, and listen, I know that there's a lot of people who disagree with me on that. I'm not going to get into it, but like, if somebody is marketing their art in some way and implying that they are queer, and it's like, the more likely thing is that they are like working through their own stuff, or they've figured out their own stuff, and it's none of your goddamn business.
Yep. Like, you have no right to people's personal lives just because they're a public figure.
Yes. Yep. And I think that becomes very difficult to parse when you're a public figure because you are sharing your personal life, right? Like that is like the sort of the reality star thing, which is ultimately what Dan and Phil are, right? Is like they are basically reality television personalities in the sense that like that is sort of what all vloggers and like Twitch streamers are. And yeah, I mean, I'm just they seemed happy in the video, and I think that I hope now that the thing is out, that people will stop badgering them about it and they can just like do their fun stuff. But I think the best part obviously was like watching the internet react. How did you find out, and where did you find out? What was the first thing you saw?
So I actually I found out because through an Instagram DM. Actually,
incredible.
One of my like previous like Tumblr coworkers, Amanda Brennan, who Amanda.
Yes,
legend, icon, DM'd me and just said, "Phan?" Or like she said, she was like, "Phan is real?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I mean, probably, but we don't know." And she was like, "No, they are real." And that is when I obviously did some Googling and was like, "Oh my gosh, it's big exciting day for the internet, big exciting day for the fandom overall." How did you find out?
I wish I remember the first post that I saw of it, but I think like every now and then I'll go to see what's trending on Tumblr, like the top 10, like topics at any given moment. And, or you know what it was? It was that I was scrolling my own dashboard and like I saw, that thing of like, you see the tip of an iceberg go by and you're like, oh, there's a lot under that I don't have the context for. I saw one of those posts where I was like, oh, I understand just enough of this post to know what they're talking about, but like, it sounds like they're referring to something recent. And like, so then I went into the tag and I was like, holy shit, what happened? And this was like an hour after they posted the video. It was instantaneous. Everybody was posting. Did you have any like favorite posts that you saw?
I did. I had quite a few. Oh, I saw one post that was the now what Finding Nemo meme with like all the fish in the bags in the water.
Yeah, totally.
Saw that one was iconic. Gonna give a quick rundown. First off, the official Empire State Building account on TikTok was fan posting.
What? Wait, what?
And shared a video of Dan and Phil at the Empire State Building in 2013.
That's wild. Absolutely incredible.
Fan knows no bounds. And then one was a screenshot of the r/Dan and Phil subreddit, and this is a post. The screenshot was posted on Tumblr, which we'll share, and it was of the subreddit rules, and it said rule number 3: shipping and speculative content under construction, because under it says anything overly invasive will be removed, but all the rest of it is under construction because that was such a huge aspect of the subreddit. Also, of course, the day that Phan became real, MCR was trending at number 1 and Dan and Phil was trending at number 2, which and the caption just says you can really tell the average age demographic of this website from this single screenshot. One of my favorite was a photo of the friend.com AI ad, which if for our listeners who aren't familiar, this like company friend AI did this big ad campaign in the New York subway, essentially being like, why do you need a friend when you can have this AI website? And obviously New Yorked and entirely defaced the campaign,
of course.
And there's a photo of one of the like subway posters that says of friend.com, where someone wrote, "Fuck AI, Phan is real."
That's awesome.
Definitely a highlight. And then, of course, the classic Destiel, I love you, Phan is real meme, which,
of course,
I always wonder how many people get their news from this meme specifically, because that is, I'm pretty sure that is how I found out the Queen died.
I think that's also how I found out that the Queen died.
Well, maybe that's how you found out how the Queen died. Could
have been both of us.
It could have been both of us. Could have been on this podcast. Who knows? But I definitely I love that. Like that meme as a news source is just truly, truly iconic. And then there was this really sweet post on the Dan and Phil subreddit that I screenshotted because I wanted to read. It was just like really sweet and wholesome. It's captioned 16 years later. And it says, I started watching Dan and Phil when I was 10. I'm now 25. I have a full adult job doing HR, and I haven't watched a video of theirs in a few years. Today, while eating a cheese stick at work, I saw the headline, YouTubers Dan and Phil confirm their relationship after 16 years. And for a moment, I remember drawing cat whiskers on my face with my childhood best friend and watching them talking about being YouTubers ourselves one day. It's weird because it's a normal Wednesday. I'll go home after work and eat dinner with my husband. We'll pet our cat and I'll ramble about Dan v. Phil videos. And tonight, for the first time since I was a teenager, I'll fall asleep to a Dan and Phil video. Life is strange and scary and takes us down so many different paths. Because of Dan and Phil, I was able to come out. Because of them, I embraced my strangeness. Because of them, young me learned how to love myself. Fuck, it's weird to get old.
Oh, gosh.
Anyway. Right?
That is so wonderful. Oh my goodness. That's the good internet. Like, there it is.
Right? It's still there. We just have to search a little more to find it, but it's still there.
It is still there.
What were some of your favorite Dan and Phil fans official posts?
Well, I'm trying to. I thought I'd saved a bunch, but now I can't remember which account I saved them under. But it's sort of scrolling through my own Tumblr. I am reminded of the fact that it was the same day that the juggling simulator was a very big deal on Tumblr. Were you around for that?
I missed that, and I would love to know more.
Yeah, there's this tool that some guy on the internet made, an educational tool that simulates juggling, and you sort of input various things into it, and it gives you a simulation of juggling, and it's for physicists and or jugglers, I guess. It's just just a thing that a guy coded for a very specific hobby or something, right? I don't know how Tumblr found this open source simulator, but for a good 2 days, it was just GIFs of juggling and fan posts. And that was it.
I love those days online where there's just one or two things that everyone is talking about, and it feels it really feels like those are the times when we are as close as we possibly can be to world peace.
Yes, totally. And oh my God, another thing that has been at least going around sort of, my corner of the internet in terms of just fun things people are talking about is Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau. I mean, to speak of the opposite of Dan and Phil, a very unexpected couple, just proof that you shouldn't give up on your dreams.
Never give up on your dreams, because you never know.
You never know. You really never know.
You never know when your dreams will become canon.
Well, and I saw this post. I'll have to see if I can find it and reblog it. That was basically I think it was a meme that somebody put in the Atypicals Discord that said something along the lines of Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau is just Obama for straight people, which is somehow true. And also, yeah, it is Obama.
Oh my gosh.
Obama is real. It's just Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau.
Incredible. Obama for sure.
I mean, it is.
It's so Trudeau.
Oh my God.
I also saw The Onion posted Orlando Bloom spotted stepping out for dinner with Angela Merkel.
That's pretty good. Well, I mean, also thinking of days on the internet in which everybody's talking about one thing, my dashboard confessionals today is kind of about that. So why don't we head on over to that particular corner? So as we record this, it is November 4th, 2025, which means tomorrow, November 5th, is the 5th anniversary of one of my favorite days on the internet, November 5th, 2020. And I don't know if you remember where you were, Cher, on that day. Probably inside, I would guess.
Yeah, I definitely was at home. But truly, we were all on the internet that day. We were in the internet. that day.
We really, really were. So for those of you who might not remember, because, there was some other stuff going on in 2020 that may have distracted, November 5th, 2020 was both the Thursday of election week and, a consequential election, I would say, and also the airing of the Supernatural episode in which Castiel confesses his love for Dean. And so my post that I've chosen from my archives is Professional Jester, which perfect Tumblr username, saying, "This is the first time in years that Tumblr has felt organic. No, I will not elaborate." And then The One Who Understands You, also a great username, reblogged and said, "It's about the chaos," but with that screen cap of Ben from Parks and Rec saying it's about the cones.
Incredible.
And that's really what it is. That perfectly sums up everything, I think.
Yeah.
What about you, Cher? What do you have from your archives? Give us your dashboard confessional.
I have a fun post from November, I want to say 2018. And I reblogged it from the Booty Diaries, genuinely one of my favorite Tumblr accounts, has been for years. And it was originally posted by Spectrology, and it is a stock photo of a man with a thought bubble with a bear in it, and above it, it says, in quotes, "Bear in mind."
It's very good.
So today we are bearing in mind Dan and Phil and the wonder that is the internet and the good side of the internet that is still there.
It's still
even
there.
When some of it doesn't feel great.
Yeah, we can have it. We can still have nice things. And I mean, on the subject of nice things, let's head on over to our final segment. What has you in your feels corner?
First off, I'm in my feels about Dan and Phil and their love and the fact that they've been in a relationship for 16 years. I just think overall, it's just,
yeah.
All right, first off, love their love. Obviously want to emphasize the positive side of the fandom when saying this, and shipping can be positive, especially when it is even when it is real life shipping, but just, being careful, emphasizing that these are real people and that they are real people with lives and feelings. And I'm so happy that these real people with lives and feelings just are truly so happy and thriving. So I think overall, their real life and the fandom, happiness and outpouring that has come from, Phan being officially canon and having been canon, Phanon, if you will, for, 16 years. And then also in my feels corner, I saw a headline today, Lauren, that really I sat with for a minute, and it said it was about The Pit.
Oh boy.
Which,
perfect show.
What a show. And it said, The Pit Season 2 will officially be more heartbreaking than Season 1.
No! No, why?
So I've been unpacking that and what that means. I hope everyone's okay at the end. I think they will be. And finally, Lauren, I, as we know, huge teen Twilight fan. Romantasy books were a big part of my youth. And I recently, over the past few months, have gotten back into reading and back into romantasy and re-exploring that world. A friend brought me A Court of Thorns and Roses, which I'm sure, you have heard of, ACOTAR, for those in the know. And she brought them when she visited. And I have been I read all of them in 2 weeks. And now I'm reading another book series that I'm also finished. I've been reading a book a day called The Sun Queen Trials. Also fantastic. And I'm just back into being so excited to read that I read until I fall asleep with a book in my hand. And I haven't felt that in a while. And so that's getting me in my feels. Just finding the joy of reading and, exploring another world. So that's what's been afoot for me. What about you, Lauren? What has you in your feels?
Oh, I love that. There's nothing quite as good as getting back into reading. That's amazing. So the main thing that has me in my feels right now is a little self-centered, I guess. But you reading that Reddit post from that Dan and Phil fan, just sort of talking about coming back to the fandom after so long. this past weekend was the 10th anniversary of me releasing the first episode of the Bright Sessions, and we released a little like epilogue for it and did a live stream. And I've just gotten so many really lovely messages from people kind of with that same sentiment of like, I found this when I was a kid and it helped me in this way, and it's so fun to revisit it now. Or people who are just finding it for the first time and are like excited that there, you know, was this little bit of new content. And I've gotten a lot of meaningful messages like that over the years, and they never get old. They just like really help me, you know, feel connected to the art that I'm making and the people who are listening to it in a different way. And so I'm just really, really grateful for that. And it's been an emotional anniversary for sure. But the other sort of more like fandom-y thing that has me in my fields is that we started watching The Morning Show, which is a show that my dad has been trying to get me to watch forever. But I tried the pilot back when it came out, and I was like, this is too close to home, because it's about sort of the entertainment industry, I mean specifically the news industry, in this show about it's about dealing with the sort of Me Too era and stuff. And I just like was so inundated with stories from friends and things like that during that time period that I just didn't give it a good chance. But we have since started it and now fully caught up, and it's a delightful soapy show, and Billy Crudup is in it playing the most scrungly poor little meow meow I've ever seen in my life, and I'm obsessed with him. Like because of the subject matter and because of like the caliber of like talent and production design, and just like it's a very, you know, like it's an Apple TV show. It's like very expensive and great looking. I think that there's a little bit of an approach maybe from the show to be like, we're making important television, but it's a soap. Like they do some great stuff around certain, you know, subjects, but it is a soap opera, and Billy Crudup knows the assignment. He's chewing up the scenery. He's looking at Reese Witherspoon like she hangs the moon. It's so good.
Absolutely incredible. I love sleeper soaps where you don't quite realize, and then you're like, oh, I'm in a soap. But everyone's like, do you watch the serious show? Like, I don't know. Do you watch The Diplomat?
Oh my God. Yes. Love The Diplomat.
Soap. Such a soap.
It is. It really is.
Like, so, which I didn't quite realize until season 3. And I was like, oh, which also, From. I don't know if you watch From.
Ooh, it's really scary, right?
It is. It really is scary. But again, it's like, I was realizing, I was like, this is such a soapy show. It's about relationships and things. And yeah, I just, you know, there are more soaps than we know, Lauren. You know, the suds are all around us. And also, before we close, I know you mentioned, congratulations on 10 years of the Bright Sessions, 10 years of audio fiction. I mean, it's huge. It's so exciting. Like that's how we met, is you do like, yeah.
It is, yeah.
I mean, your impact, the friendships that have been created, and like the worlds that have been created from the Bright Sessions, from audio, audio fiction, audio drama that 10 years ago was, I would say, a phrase that wasn't really spoken a lot, like talked about, you know?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, I was reflecting on this the other day, the fact that like I only know my partner because of podcasting. Like almost all of my adult friends that I have that I like met in my adulthood, I met through podcasting one way or another. My best friend, I introduced her to her husband, who I know from audio fiction. So, I mean, it really is, the internet can be a great connector, like it was with Dan and Phil, like it has been for me and for you as well.
Yeah, and it's just so wonderful to think about, like, that one decision that you made, like, hey, I'm gonna make this show, I'm gonna join this website, I'm gonna do this thing, and like looking at like the ripple effects of it, Dan and Phil being like, we're gonna make this YouTube video, we're gonna have a YouTube channel, whatever it is, and now like look at the beautiful like worlds and relationships that have been created, you know? Like, similarly, all of my friends, not all of my friends, but I would say the vast majority of my friends and people I talk to are people that I met through Tumblr, people that I met like online, or like through, you know, connections made online brought IRL. And it's just so special to kind of like see how much like beauty can come from like one little, like one post, one chat, one whatever it is.
It's so true. And you know, it's good when these things happen and they can remind us of the good internet, because it is still out there. We can build it and they will come. So with that, I'm Lauren Shippen, and you can find me at thelaurenShippen.tumblr.com.
And I'm Cher McAnelly. You can find me at Overshares. This has been Dashboard Diaries, and
may your anons always be loving,
your dash always refreshed,
your gifts always be loading,
and your ships always canon.
May the fix your reading always be finished,
and the answers you seek always in the reblogs.
Thanks for scrolling with us. Exciting news! Atypical Artists is currently crowdfunding for our next original, Phantom Pulse. This audio drama / rock album follows a 90s rock band on their first tour as they play dive bars and also do their secret job, cleansing haunted places of ghosts with their music. The show has a truly incredible cast: Nicholas Padani, Erica Ishii, Brigham Snow, Juliana Gutierrez Arango, and Aaron Caesar. But we need your help to actually pay them and make sure it's a union production. Go to phantompulse.com to join the Kickstarter today. Get ready to rock the haunted out of the house.